I knew that.
There's a lot of power in knowing. There's no resistance in knowing. There's no doubt in knowing. There's absolute in knowing.
Wow. I've had so many signs this morning. I will be here.
Signs meaning indications that you're ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. Signs are fun, aren't they?
Yeah. Right now I'm in my transition to move into a different place. And it is very interesting. I had my plans before to move yesterday to Miami. And I'm like, okay, I will go to Abraham in Boca Raton, which is on Saturday. And my plans changed, and I'm like, okay, maybe I have to go twice. So today, because I'm close to Orlando, and I'm moving next Friday to Miami, and I will go to maybe Boca Raton.
That's all really good, but we think you're overthinking it all. In other words,
so maybe it is my problem. So Abraham, I'm stuck a little bit in my life right now because
I'm thinking too much.
It's true. You're always right.
This is true.
My stuckness,
which is getting stickier as I focus upon it.
I'm back and forth to my ex-husband a few times, like 7, 8, maybe 9 times, for the last 7 years. I'm just thinking maybe it is, I'm stuck.
Well, it's logical, isn't it? Because depending upon what aspect of him you focus upon his beauty, and there you go. And then you focus upon his opinions, and then there you go. And then you focus upon his beauty, and then there you go. In other words, you're fickle.
But I want to tell you from my previous experience, I've been married not once, few times, and and I just thinking about, I already got some answers today about maybe something wrong with me.
No. It isn't that something is wrong with you. It's that you're cursed for all time and eternity. No, it isn't that either. It's that you get what you think about, and you've got quite a mixed bag of what you think about because you're doing what almost everybody does. You are focused upon the now manifestations, filling your thoughts and words with the now manifestations, so you don't have any steady vibration about some of these things that really matter to you. When you focus on something, you offer a vibration about it. And as you offer a vibration about it, law of attraction responds to your vibration. And then you observe that. And as you observe it, you offer a vibration about it. And then law of attraction responds to your vibration. And then you get something more. And this is what momentum is. It would be literally impossible for you to just stop thinking all of those thoughts because they're active and law of attraction keeps bringing them to you. It almost feels futile when you approach it from an action-oriented way. But if you could leave that aside for a little while, just let that be a subject that you don't try to figure out. And this is what we were asking you. Don't try so hard to think things through. It's nice to have general plans about things. And of course, it's nice to have intentionality. Earlier today, we started to tell you something that Esther's been thinking about. And here is where it really fits for an explanation for you. She is realizing that she can quiet her mind. You all can. It won't take you long to know it either. So as she quiets her mind and pushes that reset button and then tunes into the frequency of her absolute well-being and stays there until a thought occurs to her, and then momentum ensues and another thought comes and another thought comes and another thought comes. Now she's asking the question, once those thoughts begin flowing, and I know for sure that I'm receiving, not thinking. Could I start thinking about the things that I just received? And mightn't that be more fun than just receiving? What do you think? Think it might be more fun than just receiving? So then we said to her, think about the process of segment intending, where each time you enter a new segment, your intentions are slightly different from the last segment. When you get into your car, it's a new segment. When you get onto this roadway, it's a new segment. If your telephone rings, it's a new segment. And if you identify that you're moved into a new segment, and then you just softly, with no tension, sort of like the tension that you're feeling about some of these subjects, like moving and relationship, with no tension, if you can just softly choose a subject that has not a lot of momentum already going, but something that you are softly interested in, and then just softly set an intention. For example, now this is something else that we want to say to you. While you're in that quieted place, you are actually an open vessel to the source within you, which means when your mind is really quieted, every one of your trillions of cells has direct communication with your inner being. They already have communication with one another. And so now an impulse to go get something to drink or go get something to eat is a very logical next impulse. So if you follow that impulse and then you realize, so you're up out of your chair, this is no longer meditation segment. This is now following the impulse into the kitchen segment. Now you say to yourself, I want good fuel, and I want it to taste good, and I want it to revive my body, and I want it to answer these trillions of cells who are asking. Can you feel how now you have applied your more specific intentionality, that now you've put yourself in a place of even swifter momentum, and you could move from segment to segment to segment to segment to segment with that kind of intentionality going, being inspired from broader perspective. So you are, hear it, co-creating with your own inner being. You know how much fun it is when you get together with a friend and you're on the same wavelength and you're laughing about the same things, or you have interest in some of the same things, and you get in the middle of a conversation that goes so far and so fast and so fun into a place that it could not go if it was just you. Well, when you co-create with your inner being, it's like that, because your inner being holds all the knowledge of you, all the knowledge of your interests, all the knowledge of what you want, all the knowledge of your proximity to it. So when you start dancing that dance with your inner being, when you start saying, so what do you think now? What now? What now? Well, what now? Well, what now? Oh, momentum can gather so fast. Helpful?
Yeah, but when you are with another person on different vibrations, so
yeah. And that's going to keep happening until you do some of this. You can't get there from there. You're just going to duke it out with them. You're just going to offer your opinions while they offer their opinions. Nobody's going to get any satisfaction from any of that. You've got to get solid in what you know before you have any real power of influence. And what we want you to know is your power of influence, is not to get them to agree with you. It's that you're holding your own so much that you don't disagree with yourself. You see, that's what happens when you get together with others. If you're not solid in what you know, if you haven't meditated yourself into alignment, if you don't have the leverage of all of this knowing within you, then you are in a very fickle way, more easily distracted from who you are and what you mean by somebody else that's not even thought it through that much. And you know what else? If you've taken the time to get there, and you're playing with somebody else who has taken the time to get there, the two of you in alignment will have a conversation that will knock your socks off. When you come together with someone else who's in that kind of alignment, you don't find yourself in competition with each other. You find yourself feeding off one another. You know it. You get together. You have that kind of fun when you get together with friends like that, where it doesn't matter who's the straight guy and who's the funny guy. It doesn't matter who delivers the punchline. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's having a good time. Nobody really cares how you got there. And that's what it's like when you play with your inner being. So what we're really encouraging is that through meditation, you will come into that partnership with your strongest resource. And then with that stronger resource flowing through you, you'll be more influential. And then fewer people will be trying to talk you out of something. Esther spent a lot of time. She had so much fun moving furniture around and picking some new pieces and getting the house ready. And then her daughter Tracy came to visit. And there's nothing that the two of them like more than to play those games together. But Tracy was in one city and Esther was in another city, and it wasn't possible to play it together, and Esther saw no point in waiting for Tracy. So Esther just played the game with herself and with others and with her inner being, but not with Tracy. And when Tracy got there, she looked around and she was not up to speed with the changes. And she said, "Oh, no. That should be over there." And Esther just watched her move it over there and smiled. And then she said, "And that shouldn't be anywhere. That should go to the garage." And Esther just watched her pick it up and take her favorite new footstool to the garage. And Esther thought, my edge is gone. I feel no powerlessness. I feel no competition. I just feel that when Tracy leaves, I'll put it all back the way I like it. There was no point in getting Tracy to be ready, 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 to be ready. Tracy didn't know that that beautiful little table was in the perfect place and had a perfect picture over it until Esther found a lamp that looked better. And Tracy didn't know that the lamp looked better, so the picture needed to go someplace else. Tracy didn't know that. She wasn't ready to be ready to be ready. And Tracy didn't know that the picture hung in a place where it didn't belong for a little while and then was moved to another place. She wasn't ready to be ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. She just saw the finished results, and Tracy wanted to be ready to be ready to be ready. She wanted to start the whole thing over. Let's move that over there and that over there and that over there and that over there, which is really what you're all doing with life all day, every day. It's what you're doing with life all day, every day. Just finding a way to be more interested now in what moving parts you have going on around you. The thing that trips you all up is that you think that there's a giant plan that somebody else has figured out that you've got to figure it out because you think there's only one way to go and only one place that you need to be, when there are infinite places for you to be and infinite paths for you to take, and every one of them as satisfying as the next, you see. So there is no reason for you to ever feel any competition with the beloved others who are providing the contrast that helps you to create your desire to begin with. You can't get it wrong. It doesn't matter where the footstool is. It doesn't matter. It's just nice to have it where you want it when you want to put your foot up. And the garage really isn't the best place as far as Esther can see.